Let's start with mutual funds. Meaning of mutual funds. A mutual fund is a trust. Pool the resources from the investor. It will invest that resources in various stocks. In this case, resources means the amount of investment from the investors will be invested in securities, bonds, or any other assets. The funds are managed by professional fund manager, and any returns from the investment will be shared among the investors who made the investment in the mutual fund trust based on their holdings, that is, units held by them. The returns are shared among their holdings. Next, how mutual fund will work. Investor pool the resources into the fund. The fund managers invest in a diversified portfolio of securities or any other bonds. The income earned after next capital appreciations are distributed to investor proportionately, or it can be reinvested based on the type of fund the investor is investing. If I want to invest in a payout fund, I will get a income on a periodic basis. If I don't want income from the mutual fund, the income generated by the mutual fund will be reinvested in the mutual fund units, and new units are allocated to the investor. Next, for handling the funds, the fund house will charge annual charges to the investor. Next, the meaning of NAV, that is net asset value in mutual fund. The net asset value is the price per unit price of mutual fund. It represents market value of mutual fund, which will be used by the investor to purchase the mutual fund and sell the mutual fund. In case of buy, the purchase price will be used as a NAV with some entry load and exit load. In case of sale, NAV will be used as a redemption price with some dividend equalization amount and exit load. So calculation of NAV per unit, total assets minus total liabilities of mutual fund. This is total assets of mutual fund, total liabilities of mutual fund, total number of units outstanding. In case of while pooling the resources from the investor, the mutual fund will issue units to the units holder. Then, what do you mean by total asset? Total assets include market value of all investment made by the mutual fund trust and cash balance available with mutual fund. While pooling the amount from the investor, the fund may retain some amounts that will be shown in balance sheet of mutual fund as in cash, and some from receivables from the securities or any prepaid expenses is shown under assets of mutual fund will be taken as total assets. The sum of all this will be taken as total assets. Total liabilities. What do you mean by total liabilities? The fund will have to incur some expenses, expense payable for the service received, and management fees. Any management fees payable by the mutual fund, any other payables will be included in total liabilities of mutual fund. Total outstanding units. What is total outstanding units? The number of units issued to the investor. Number of units issued to the investor by mutual fund. Example, a mutual fund has a 50 crore asset and 5 crore liabilities. Total number of units outstanding is 10 lakh. So NAV will be calculated using total asset minus total liabilities divided by total number of units held by the investor or issued by the mutual fund. So 50 crore minus 5 crore, we will get a value of 45 crore divided by 10 lakh units. So the NAV per unit will be 45 per unit. Key points about NAV. Updated daily. NAV will be updated on a daily basis at the end of the closing of market. So NAV is calculated at the end of each trading day based on the closing market price of funds held by the mutual fund. So example, if I have a three companies, that is Reliance, Tata and Wipro. The mutual fund invested in Reliance company 10,000 shares and 1,000 shares in Tata, in Wipro 2,000 shares. So price on 28/5/2025, the closing rate of shares on 28/5/2025 and on 29/5/2025, the price will change in mutual fund. So based on these changes, NAV is updated on a daily basis at the end of at the end of closing of the market, closing of the market. So does not reflect the market performance directly, unlike share prices. In case of share price, there is an ask rate and bid rate. Ask rate and bid rate, based on the demand and supply, the price of the shares will reflect in the market based on the demand for the shares. If any news for the Reliance company is out, then the demand for the positive news, in case of positive news, the demand for the shares of Reliance will increase. So automatically the price will fluctuate, goes up and goes down based on the performance. But in case of mutual fund, it does not reflect the market performance directly. So NAV changes due to portfolio value variation, not on a demand and supply factors. Impact on investor transactions. The investor buy or redeem mutual fund unit at NAV declared at the end of trading day. That is, NAV is calculated on a end of trading day. So 45 will be taken. That is, assume this is the closing rate of NAV for a particular mutual fund. Net asset calculation. How will you calculate net asset? That is net asset value. NAV is net asset value per unit. Now we will compute net asset. Net asset is total asset minus total liability equal to net asset in a mutual fund. So particulars amount. Amount can be in crore or lakhs based on the question, based on the amounts given in the question. We'll apply this. Total asset. Total assets include market value of investment. That is, this is the market value of investment made by the mutual fund. So it will be calculated every day. Next, cash and bank balances of mutual fund. Receivables, any income receivable from the shares investor. If Reliance Limited allotted, declared some dividend, so on declaration of dividend, mutual fund will record receivable of dividend or any interest on bonds. So this will be included. We'll get a value, total value, sum of all will be my total assets. In case of liabilities, payables, expenses, fees, outstanding liabilities, any outstanding liabilities payable will be included in total liability will get. So A minus B, that is total assets minus total liability, will get a value of net asset. So NAV per unit here will be net assets divided by total number of units held by the mutual fund. When closing cash balance is not given in the question, it can be derived using the following. Sometimes ICA will not give closing cash balance. So we need to find out what is the closing cash balance. To compute closing cash balance, we will take directly opening cash balance and proceed with cash inflows and cash outflows. Or in case of, sometimes the question says initial public offer. That means the company is mutual fund is created now only. Now only means today the mutual fund is incorporated. Then the amount received on issue of units. Today only mutual fund is incorporated and units are issued. So amount received, initial investment, initial expenses to collect the fund from the investor, that is reduced from the total amount received minus initial investment in securities. On receipt of amounts, mutual fund invest in the securities like Reliance, Tata, and Wipro. So, amount received minus any initial expenses to receive that amount will be reduced. That is, initial expenses are flotation cost and initial investment in securities. So, we'll get a value of opening cash balance available. While doing this, we'll get a value of opening cash balance or a balance available. We'll take a opening cash balance if given in the question, or if in case of initial public offer, we'll get the balance retained by the mutual fund. So add cash inflows, same as cash flow statement we'll be doing in the financial reporting as per in days 3. In days 3 or in days 7. In days 7, I think so. So cash flows, cash inflows. Profit from sale of investment in security. I have invested. The investment in securities are not for a fixed period. It can be traded. Okay. When mutual funds are invested, it can trade. If prices increase, then the mutual fund can sell the investment. If investment strategy provides that the fund manager that the price of Reliance will reduce tomorrow drastically, then the fund manager will sell the investment of securities in Reliance company today. So he will get a profits from the sale of investment. Any dividend or interest received will be பேங்க் அக்கௌண்ட்ல சிம்பிள் வேர்ட் பேங்க் அக்கௌண்ட்ல அமௌண்ட் உள்ள வர்றது அதாவது கேஷ் இன்ஃப்ளோ ஆகிறது எல்லாத்தையும் ஆட் பண்ணணும் கேஷ் அவுட்ஃப்ளோ ஆகிறது எல்லாத்தையும் மைனஸ் பண்ணணும் நீங்க கொஸ்டின்ல படிக்கும் போதே அமௌண்ட் உள்ள வருதா வெளியே போகுதா தட் இஸ் கேஷ் இன்ஃப்ளோ அண்ட் கேஷ் ஃப்ளோஸ் வந்து ரெடியூஸ் பண்ணா நம்மளுக்கு வந்து க்ளோசிங் கேஷ் பேலன்ஸ் கிடைச்சிடும் க்ளோசிங் கேஷ் பேலன்ஸ் ஆர் பேங்க் பேலன்ஸ் பேங்க்ல வந்து வாட் இஸ் டெபிட் வாட் இஸ் கிரெடிட் கிரெடிட் ஆகிறதுலாம் உள்ள வருதுன்னு அர்த்தம் டெபிட் ஆகிறதுலாம் வெளில போகுதுன்னு அர்த்தம் ஸோ எதெல்லாம் உள்ள வருதோ அதெல்லாம் ஆட் பண்ணிக்கணும் அமௌண்ட் இதுதான் சிம்பிள் வேர்ட் அடுத்தது கேபிட்டல் கெயின் realized any capital gain realized will be included new investment by unit holder if new investor came to mutual fund and invest 30 lakhs or 50 lakhs then will allot some units okay to the investor it will be included if the investor comes today and if he deposits 50 lakhs in our account so it will be inflow to me okay next cash outflows cash outflows if investor invest in our mutual fund then mutual fund will purchase so there is an outflow of my cash from the bank account it will be reduced next expense paid any expenses paid from the bank account only so it should be reduced from the cash balance bank balance dividend payout to investor any dividend paid by the investor this don't confuse with this dividend and the dividend paid by the mutual fund. These dividends are received from the investment made in shares by the mutual fund. These investments, these dividends are received from the investment made in the shares. That is Reliance or Tata or Wipro companies. So, in case of dividend payout, the mutual fund will pay the dividend to the investor. Okay. In case of dividend payout plan, redemption unit. So some investor new investments are made by the new investors. Or in case of cash outflow, the existing investor can withdraw the amount or redeem the amount from the investment. They will give back our units and collect the amount invested by them based on the NAV on that date. So total cash inflows, opening cash balance or cash available plus total cash inflows minus total cash outflows will give you closing cash balance. Mistake பண்ணிருக்கேன். So இதுக்கு A, B, C. A plus B minus C will give you closing cash balance. Okay, next. In simple formula, closing cash balance equal to opening cash balance plus total cash inflows minus cash outflows. Same as given above. When opening NAV and total units are provided, the details of assets and liabilities are missing. So sometimes the details of assets and liabilities will be missing in the question. The closing net asset can be computed as follows. Sometimes they will not give you what is the total assets and liability. They will give you opening units and opening NAV, closing units, and closing NAV. Closing units and closing NAV கொடுத்திருந்தா நம்ம தான் straight கண்டுபிடிச்சுமே closing NAV கண்டுபிடிச்சிருவோமே. So we need to find out closing NAV and closing number of units. So opening net asset value will be calculated, opening NAV will be given, and opening units will be multiplied with opening NAV units. Opening units into opening NAV will be getting opening net asset value. So in this case also inflows should be included, outflows should be reduced from the opening net asset value. Fresh subscription, that is new investment by the unit holder, unit issued into issue price. The issue price will be calculated as below. There is a issue price calculation. I will discuss separately. So unit issued into issue price. Realized gains, that is capital appreciation or dividend income, will be given directly given in the question. So opening net asset plus any fresh subscription or new investment by the unit holder will be included. This will give you total inflows. So next is outflow. There is a redemption of units. The unit holder can redeem when fresh subscriptions are given. Also, there is a possibility of redemption of units by the unit holder, existing holders. So it should be reduced. Dividend paid to investor. These dividends are received from the investment made by the company. These dividends are paid by the mutual fund to the investors. Okay. Next is management other expenses. Management and other expenses. Management and other expenses. Total outflows. So redemption of units will be calculated based on number of units redeemed into redemption price. So redemption price will be calculated below mentioned formula. I will teach you further in a while. Okay, the total outflow, that's this management the expenses will be included. So total inflows minus total outflow, the closing net asset value will get. Formula for net asset is opening NAV plus total inflows minus total outflows. NAV per unit equal to closing net asset value divided by total number of units outstanding held by the mutual fund. So computation of issue price per unit after considering dividend equalization. After considering dividend equalization. For now, dividend equalization is a charge by the mutual fund in case of issue of units. So that is unit holder invest in the mutual fund with the income earned by the mutual fund amount equal to income already earned by the mutual fund. ஓகேவா, என்னன்னா தமிழ்ல எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றேன். இப்போ நான் மியூச்சுவல் ஃபண்ட்ல இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்றேன்னா ஏற்கனவே ஆல்ரெடி நான் இப்பதான் இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ண போறேன். அந்த மியூச்சுவல் ஃபண்ட் ஏற்கனவே ஆல்ரெடி 2 இயர்ஸா இருக்கு அப்படின்னா அதுல டிவிடெண்ட் இன்கம் வந்து மியூச்சுவல் ஃபண்ட் ஏர்ன் பண்ணிருக்கலாம் 2 இயர்ஸ்ல. இப்போ நான் இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணும்போது என்ன ஆகுதுன்னா அவங்களோட என்ஏவிக்கு ஈக்குவலா நான் கொண்டு வரணும். ஓகேவா, அப்போ அவங்களோட ஈக்குவல் அமௌண்ட்டுக்கு நான் கொண்டு வரேன்னா டிவிடெண்ட் ஏர்ன்டு பை த இன்வெஸ்டர் வந்து ஈக்குவல் அமௌண்ட்டுக்கு நான் இன்கம் ஏர்ன்டு பை த மியூச்சுவல் ஃபண்டுக்கு நான் கொண்டு வரணும். ஸோ அதனால இஷ்யூ பிரைஸ் வந்து டிவிடெண்ட் ஈக்குவலைசேஷன் இருக்கு. டிவிடெண்ட் ஈக்குவலைசேஷன் எப்படி கம்ப்யூட் பண்ணணுங்கிறத கீழே ஃபர்தரா எக்ஸ்பிளைன் பண்றேன். ஓகேவா, நவ் how to compute issue price. Now we'll concentrate on how to compute issue price per unit. Issue price per unit will be net asset value, that is NAV per unit, will be given or computed. It can be given in the question or it can be computed by your total. It can be computed on a closing net asset value divided by total number of units. நம்ம இது பண்ணனா NAV கிடைச்சிடும். ஓகேவா, NAV that is per unit basis plus entry load, if any. Entry load is 2% or 0.2% will be given in the question. So NAV NAV amount and multiplied with entry load. It will be mentioned in the question. Entry load will be calculated on NAV. அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருந்தா மட்டும்தான் will use that NAV into entry load to get this value. It should be included in case of entry load. In case of issue price, NAV plus, or it should be included, entry load should be included in NAV. Next is dividend equalization. This is an additional amount equal to dividend income earned by the existing unit holder. The income earned by the existing unit holder should be invested by new investor. If existing investors are having an income of 1 rupee from the dividend, the same amount the new investor also brings to the mutual fund. That is dividend equalization reserve amount should be included in issue price. Okay, issue price per unit. Same issue price equal to NAV plus entry load plus dividend equalization. Computation of redemption price. To compute redemption price, take NAV given in the question and let entry load, exit load. In case you are coming or you are investing in the mutual fund, it will charge some amount. That is entry load. It should be included so that the more amount the investor will pay to the mutual fund. In case of நம்ம இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணும்போது நிறைய அமௌண்ட் இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணணும், அதுக்கு சார்ஜஸ் வந்து மியூச்சுவல் ஃபண்ட் போடுவாங்க. நம்ம ஒரு அமௌண்ட் வந்து வித்ரா பண்றோம்னா அந்த அமௌண்ட் எப்பயுமே வந்து கம்மியான லோ வேல்யூல தான் இருக்கும். இன் கேஸ் ஆஃப் எல்லா இடத்துலயுமே பேங்க்ல போயிட்டு நான் வந்து ஒரு ஃபாரின் எக்ஸ்சேஞ்ச் பண்றேன் அப்படின்னா அவன் வந்து பிட் ரேட் அண்ட் ஆஃப் ரேட்னு வச்சிருப்பாங்க. ஸோ நம்ம கிட்ட டாலர் கிட்ட இருக்குன்னா டாலர் கொடுக்குறோம்னா அவன் கம்மியான ரேட்டுக்கு வாங்கிட்டு, நான் அதுவே இந்தியன் ருபி வச்சிருக்கேன் எனக்கு டாலர் வேணும்னா நான் போய் வாங்குறப்போ எனக்கு வந்து அவன் அதிகமான ரேட் போட்டு தான் கொடுப்பான், சார்ஜஸ் வந்து பண்ணி. அப்ப எனக்கு கிடைக்கிற டாலர் அமௌண்ட் கம்மியா இருக்கும், நான் இந்தியன் அமௌண்ட் நிறைய கொடுப்பேன். இதுவே என்கிட்ட டாலர் அமௌண்ட் அதிகமா இருக்கு, இந்தியன் அமௌண்ட் வேணும்னா நான் டாலர் கொடுக்குறப்ப அவன் கம்மியான ரேட் இருக்கிறதுல தான் கன்வெர்ட் பண்ணி எனக்கு கொடுப்பான். அதே மாதிரியே நம்ம வந்து NAV இருக்கும், NAV கூட என்ட்ரி லோட் உள்ள வரப்ப எக்ஸ்ட்ரா அடிஷனல் அமௌண்ட் நம்ம கொண்டு வர வேண்டியதா இருக்கு. இது சார்ஜஸ் மாதிரி. ஓகேவா? இப்ப நான் எக்ஸிட் ஆகுறப்போ அந்த அமௌண்ட்டை NAV ல இருந்தே ரெடியூஸ் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. இப்ப மியூச்சுவல் ஃபண்ட் தான் வந்து பே பண்ணுது. நவ் மியூச்சுவல் ஃபண்ட் இஸ் பேயிங் டு இன்வெஸ்டர். While investor paying to mutual fund, there is an additional amount will be charged to the investor. In case mutual fund paying to the investor, the exit load will be charged and it should be reduced from the net asset value of mutual fund. So dividend equalization paid should be included. The income earned by the investor will be paid back to the investor. Okay, so the redemption price equal to net asset value minus exit load plus dividend equalization. In both cases, dividend equalization should be included. In case of entry load, it should be included. In case of exit load, it should be reduced from the NAV. Okay, how to compute income available for distribution, that is dividend equalization. So income earned in April month will be given. So given in question, total amount in lakhs la கொடுத்திருக்கலாம் or any amount கொடுத்திருப்பாங்க. So total amount income will be given and opening units will be given in the question. So this amount divided by this amount will give you unit per unit. This is computed. How will you compute? Total income divided by total unit will give you unit per unit income. Next is income earned in May. So the same units will be written here. So income in May month will be given in question. Income divided by number of units will give you per unit income. So we need to take a total of it. Total number of units. The same will be written here. The same units will be. In case 300 is there, means 300, 300. The same 300 will here. So total of this, we need to take total of income from May and then income from April. Income from April and income from May will be total. And divided by total income divided by 300 unit will give you unit price per income. Same, this also can be totaled. Match பண்ணி பார்த்துக்கலாம். ஓகேவா? Next, unit issued in May. During the May month, end of the May month, the units may be issued by the mutual fund. So number of units issued That is any 3 lakh units can be issued. This is 300 lakhs or 3 lakh units can be issued. So same unit per unit will be taken. Same per unit will be written here. It is multiplied with this amount 3 into unit per unit value will be taken here. So unit issued on May month, the unit per unit value, this same value here will be written here. This will be used for unit issued, that is dividend equalization reserve. This amount, the unit issued on this date, the dividend equalization per unit will be taken as from this. Okay. Next is we'll take a total amount. In case we'll add this both. Same will be here. So total will be taken. Next is income earned in June month. Same units. That is 303 units. 303 units. Total 303 units. So 303 units. The income earned in June month will be given in the question. So compute unit per unit. Compute per unit of mutual fund. Per unit of income. So at the end of June, some investments are redeemed. Okay. Number of units redeemed, that is 6 lakh or 2 lakh units. 2 lakh units are redeemed. So this will be reduced. The same per unit will be taken here also. Same amount will be taken here also. It is multiplied with the number of units and the total value will be computed. Now income earned will be total income earned from April to June. That is total units here is now 301 unit. So total income is this total value minus this amount will give you total of this. So we'll get a value of this, and it will be given in the question that the dividend will be distributed to the unit holder from the investment made. That is percentage will be given in the question. So 80% of the investment will be distributed. 50% will be distributed. So remaining income available, that is total units. Compute total unit 301. Compute this after paying 80% or 50%. The remaining 20% will be my remaining income available. Types of mutual fund will be discussed in second part. So quickly revise what we have learned now. The meaning of mutual fund: does a trust pool the resources from the investors and invest in the security stocks and bonds. It is funds are managed by the professional fund manager and allocate the investment in the predetermined investment strategy. The income generated from the mutual funds or securities are distributed to unit holders. How mutual fund works: hold the money from the investors and investors in the portfolio of securities. It should be earning income, that is dividend income or interest or capital appreciation will be allocated to the investors on proportionate basis, or it can be reinvested. The mutual fund house charges comes are charges, that is entry load and exit load. So meaning of NAV. NAV is the market price per unit of mutual fund. It will be computed on a total asset minus total liability divided by total number of units. So we'll get this value. What are the key points? It will be updated on a daily basis on closing of the market. On the closing of the market, price of funds, that is Reliance and the Tata and the Wipro. This is an example. The price will fluctuate every day. So based on the changes in the price, the NAV will be updated on a daily basis on closing of the market. So computation of net asset value. So net asset equal to total assets minus total liability will give you net asset value. Net asset divided by total number of units outstanding will give you NAV per unit. So when the closing cash balance is not provided, we'll take opening cash balance, or in case of new public offer, so amount received on the uh, issue of funds minus initial expenses on issuing the funds, issuing the units will be reduced, and the investment made by the company, the closing balance it will be reduced and the closing balance will be laying in the bank account. So add cash inflows, that is proceeds from sale of investment plus any dividend or interest income received, capital gain realized, new investment by unit holder will be included. So cash outflows, what are the cash outflows are there? Purchase of new investment, expenses are paid, and the dividend paid by the mutual fund based on the income earned by the mutual fund will be dividend can be paid out to the investor. The redemption of unit by the unit holders. Next, total inflows, total outflows, and opening cash balances. So opening cash balance plus total inflows minus total outflows will give you closing cash balance. Sometimes assets and liabilities are not given, but opening NAV and opening units are given. So this is the opening value and add cash inflows, reduce cash outflows will give you closing net asset value. So for closing net asset value divided by units, number of units outstanding will give you NAV per unit. So what do you mean by issue price and the redemption price? So issue price is computed based on net asset value plus entry load that is charged by the mutual fund plus dividend equalization we have computed. In case of issue of units, will be computing per unit value of income held by the investor. So the dividend equalization is the amount that is equal to income earned by the existing investor will be bought by the new investor. So the issue price will be calculated based on this. And redemption price. Redemption price is an NAV less exit load. In case of exit, the fund will charge some amount while exit from the investment. So exit load will be charged. And also dividend equalization paid. So redemption price is per unit will get. That's it. Types of mutual fund will discuss in next video. Thank you.